Few missions matter more than helping people live healthier, happier, and longer lives. But turning that mission into reality at scale is one of the greatest challenges of our time. In this podcast, I speak with the people who are taking that challenge head on. Health entrepreneurs who've dedicated their personal and professional lives to creating maximal impact. The true Impact Junkies. My name is Daniel. Join me as I talk with them about their stories behind the impact, wins, the losses, the ups, and the downs, with the hope of inspiring many more people to join the mission and the health revolution. Today's guest is Liza Marie from Liza Marie Fit. She is weight loss big sister, a coach who has had an enormous impact on thousands of women's lives. And we also dive into a very interesting topic, which is the combination and future of online coaching in combination with medicinal weight loss. Welcome to Impact Junkies. Liza, we're in the chair. We're here. Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
Likewise, I'm glad to have you here, both in the studio and in Copenhagen. How are you enjoying Copenhagen?
I am literally so happy to be here. I feel like it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Talking a lot to Lenus about getting here, and we are finally here.
We're finally here.
So,
and like you said, a long time coming. You have been on quite a journey over the last years. Around 4 years, 4.2 years? Something like that, of coaching in this space. And it's been a ride.
It has been a ride, a fast ride.
A fast ride, which we'll definitely get into. And I've heard terms being said about you or read about you of being weight loss big sister.
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
Yeah, where does that come from?
I think just like the relatability behind me. I think a lot of people can relate to my story. And then even like on the coach side of things, a lot of the women who have lost weight, they can relate to me like wanting to now make an impact and change lives. So I think I just give off that sisterly big sis vibes.
Which you have, because I mean, speaking of weight loss big sister, I mean, when I look at some of the numbers on your clients, I'll share some of those with you now. Your clients, which mind you is just over 9,300 clients total that you have helped change their lives within the time that you've been coaching.
Wow.
They have lost the equivalent of 24,000 kgs, or that's 53,000 pounds, which is a hard number to relate to. So it's about the same as 13 Tesla Model 3s.
Holy cow.
in total of weight loss. That's just over 5,000 combined years of coaching delivered.
That's insane.
Which will take us way back historically. And in that time, supporting your clients, you and your team have sent more than 1 million text, video, and audio messages to support them along their journeys.
That makes me so proud.
It's a lot of
work. I
take
so much pride into my coaching, but like hearing those numbers, it's like, I know I'm doing this for a purpose and I know I'm doing this for a reason and to make an impact, but like that is insane. Puts
it in perspective. I think you have potentially another interesting perspective to bring to that. Because I mean, even for me, these numbers are staggering. I mean, that's a lot of change. But you've been, let's say, a bit more as a coach on the receiving end and understand what that change means for people. Because you receive the messages, the affirmations and what. So how do you kind of combine the two, these numbers and the actual understanding of what it means?
I am a very emotional person. Like I will cry all the time. And I think I put myself in like my bigger version of me. And just like the thought of like someone like me experiencing that amount of care and like being able to change their lives and live this life because of the lifestyle like my clients get to build. It's just so beautiful. And it's very emotional because it's not just about like 50,000 pounds is crazy. Like that's remarkable, but it's like the life that these clients, my amazing clients, get to live because of the 50,000 pounds. Like who cares what the scale says, how many pounds you lost, but like it's the life that you get to live because of those pounds that I helped.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly. That's so much change. And like you said, it goes beyond, I mean, the weight and amount of pounds is just a number. It's more, what does that lead to and mean? I mean, there's a lot underneath that. And it's more than just coaching. It's almost a movement, right? with this many people, right? And what do you think lies underneath that? If we're going to try to uncover a bit, what do people really come to you for?
I think it's the big sis. I think it's like the care, like even just the million messages. we really do care about our clients, and we are friends, and we meet up and like even get invited to weddings and like
You passed the wedding test
yeah,
as a
like,
coach. That's a good
and
one.
I wish I could go to all of them. And like everyone wants to send me a Christmas card. I need to get a PO box for that because I'm
think
like
so.
everyone wants my address. I'm like I love you, but I really think it's the care, like the person to person relatability. Like people just want to feel that they're supported and not supported, not supportive, not supported in a way that's like scary. Like this is truly like we care for you, we want the best for you, and we're here for you, and that means a lot.
I think it's a good perspective on what this is as
Yeah.
well, right? Because there can be some misconceptions about that, right? I think that's why I also try to put together these, to show how not just how many points of contact, but also if you cumulatively have coached people for that many years, it means that they also stay with you for a long time because of that care. It's not just sending a workout plan and a meal plan, and then that's the solution.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more that goes
like my
into
goal for every single client coming in, it's like I want to help you reach your goal, and then what's next? Like what can we work on next? Like I don't think it's once I drop the 30 pounds or fit into my wedding dress, I'm done.
Right.
It's like no, there's more.
There's
like
more
let's really
underneath
dive
it.
into more and see like how long we can work together and really take your journey to the next level. And I love hearing about like my lifetime of clients and how long clients have been in my program, and just the thought that like 11 months, I believe, is my average right now, or 11 and a half months, that people are dedicated to being in the program and building this relationship. And once you're in the program for that long, this is a part of you.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. And the numbers don't lie. They wouldn't.
No.
They only stay for a reason.
And I love that.
Yeah. So, and we've spoken a bit about their journey. Let's talk a bit about your journey, because there's one simple story to it, right? Which is, transformation and growth and success, right? But there's a whole backstory before that, right? Which goes all the way back to Pittsburgh and where you grew up.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about Liza before you got to here. Like,
Okay.
where did you start?
So backstory on Liza, Pittsburgh Liza, grew up in a very Italian household, single mom, lots of brothers, not a lot of money, and not a lot of guidance around health and fitness either. My mom worked all the time. Whatever she can get on the table is what we ate, or whatever we got from the state or our churches donated is what we ate. And I was always overweight. I was always bigger, wasn't really motivated in the sense of wanting to lose weight or change my lifestyle. I was just like, I'm a big bone girl, and I'm always going to be big, and this is who I am. So that was really my upbringing. It was just like I was always an overeater, a binge eater. I dropped out of college, which was a big one too. Was never good in school. I just felt like I was always going to live this life of like contentment, like going to work, coming home from work, repeat. And that was my life.
But it sounds to me like you also learned something about like putting in the work.
Oh, for
Right?
sure.
I mean, if you grew up with a single mom working multiple jobs to put food on the table, you kind of also grow up in an environment where you learn that you have to put in effort. Is that something that you'd say was instilled in you at that time?
I think so, for sure. And I think that's why I'm a great coach, because I work hard. Like it's not one of those things like you have a coaching business and you're just going to get clients handed to you. Like you really have to work and you have to grind and you have to put in the hours of work. And I think my mom for sure, I mean, she just retired and I'm so happy for her, but like she worked her butt off just to provide, and it's very motivating.
You mentioned something about not complacency, but like accepting that this is what your life would be like. In that, did you talk to me a bit about what you saw in your future? What did you dream about in those days?
It was so hard for me to see anywhere past like my next 9 to 5 day. Like it was so hard for me to even like dream, because I just truly never thought I would be anywhere besides working in the daycare and nannying. I've never like succeeded in anything. Like high school, I was 70th in my class of 100, and college I dropped out, and I just didn't know that anything that would be successful was in my future. And I know that sounds so like depressing and morbid, but like that really is my truth, is like I thought this was it. So like I couldn't even bring myself to dream, because I didn't believe in myself.
Oh, yeah. And those are also kind of hard stats to go and carry on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like 70th in the class and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Right, interesting. But I mean, you also mentioned something about a rough relationship with food, and in those years, what did that look like? If you can unpack that a bit more for me.
I turned to food for comfort. Like
Mm.
that was whether I was like battling things at school or battling my body or broken issues at home. Like food was my comfort. I would come home from school and I would just eat. I would sit in front of a screen and I would eat. And that was the only time I was happy. And I just started going to that all the time. So my relationship with food was just like, that's my comfort and that's what brings me joy. And that turned into like when I started making money and I got a credit card, I'm maxing the credit card out at like McDonald's, and I'm just eating and gaining and eating and gaining.
And did you see that in the same light as you did with other things? Like, okay, this is just the state of it, or this is my life and what it'll be like? Or did you try to find a route out of it?
I was like, very complacent with it. I was like, this is just what it is. Like, I can't get out of this. There's nothing, like, no.
Okay, so you had kind of seen a future of yourself where this is what life is like. I'm gonna work a 9 to 5. I'm gonna put food on the table, but you still had to solve that. So which path did you choose? What did you do?
I worked in a daycare. So I was a daycare teacher. I taught toddlers and preschoolers, and then I also nannied. And I got a lot of joy being around kids. And when I went to school, I actually went to school for education. So I knew I like wanted to be around children and like impact kids' lives. And that's the route I took. You don't need like an education for it. You just really have to care. And something about me is I've always cared about others. And yes, the daycare does not pay great, but it is something like even today, I miss it. Like I miss working with kids. I miss being on the floor and teaching and playing. But the money just wasn't there, of course.
Well, what did your salary look like in those days? Just to get a picture of life.
It was, I think it was like $8.50 an hour.
Wow.
And then I nannied on top of that so that I can, because nannying I think was $25 an hour. So that was a lot better, but I was working 6 to 6 at the daycare. And then I would take home kids and I would put them to bed at 8:30, and then I would come home and do it all over again 5 days a week.
6 to 6, and then the
6 to 8, and then go to bed and do it again.
So you're doing what you'd learned, what you'd seen, right?
Yeah,
like
just working.
Multiple jobs, work.
Yeah.
Put in the hours. Those sound like some grind years, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, despite there being a lot of joy, right? Because you're doing.
There was a lot of joy, but not lots of joy, but not a lot to reap from the joy.
No. And then so. How long were you in daycare and nannying for?
For around 5 years, 5-6 years.
And you thought that this is what I'm gonna keep doing, or what?
I hope that maybe I would like get a promotion and become like management at the daycare. Like that to me was maybe like where my next step would be. But that was it for me, I thought.
And then what? So what? Something changed.
Something
at some
changed.
point. What happened?
So the COVID lockdown happened, and the daycare was closed. We could not have kids in there. We couldn't work. And that was the first time in my entire life I wasn't working, that I was able to like take a step back and like have some hours to myself. Whereas before I didn't have that.
There wouldn't be any time in your day.
There was
if you're going
zero.
from 6 a.m. until 8:30, get home, maybe eat something, sleep, there's no space to really contemplate. So you actually have a break now.
I have a break. And I know like COVID was traumatic for so many people, but for me, it changed my life. Like, that was the moment where I was like, I need to make a change. Like, I need to do something. I can't come back after who knows how long it's going to be, and my life is still the same. And
what did you need to change at that point?
My health. I mean, I was classified morbidly obese, pre-diabetic. I couldn't walk up my steps without being out of breath. And I couldn't even, like, all the kids at the daycare would think I'm pregnant every day. They'd make jokes, and it was very embarrassing. And I just did not want to live that way anymore. I didn't think I would lose a lot of weight. I just wanted to like be able to move my body more and like be able to bend down and, like I said, go up my steps. So during the lockdown, I was like, I need to make a change. I need to do something. And that's when I started walking.
Walking was the first.
Walking was my first step. Yep.
And if you could help me understand a little bit there, because it sounds like, you know, being quite limited within your own body
Yeah.
before creating that change. Right? What was that actually like in that time?
It was very painful,
Yeah.
like very, very painful. I remember my legs would swell up all the time. I always had to like elevate my legs, and even being limited of like, if I do want to make a change, there's not many things. I can't go into the gym right now. I can't go right into lifting weights and squatting. Like I can
No.
barely squat. Like everything had to be modified for me. So that's mostly why also I chose walking, because it was like, I enjoy walking. I can do this. Like it's something that's very doable for me. But before I chose to start walking, like I was just constantly in pain, constantly inflamed, and just felt like I hated looking in mirrors. I hated buying clothes. I hated all of that.
A lot of things that are kind of off limits. I guess you didn't.
Yeah.
Now you travel a lot, I know,
Oh
right?
my gosh,
And go
yeah.
out and do stuff. I guess that was also a bit limiting for you in that
Well, I
time.
couldn't afford to travel. So that was one thing. And like, I remember the one time I needed the seatbelt extender traveling, which was so embarrassing. And I remember one time going to an amusement park with my friends, and we waited in line for like 3.5 hours for this roller coaster, and I couldn't fit. And that was like terrible, like
Yeah.
most embarrassing thing that happened to me. And my friends, I have been friends with them since high school, and they love me and they accept me and they would never judge me. But like, it was one of the most like mortifying moments of my life. And it was all because of how big I was.
Right.
And I remember, I feel like I said no to so many events because of my body, especially in the summer. Like if someone's inviting me to the pool or to the beach, like it's a no. Like I'm not putting a bathing suit on. And if I'm going anywhere, like I'm wearing long sleeves, I'm wearing pants, I'm going to sweat the entire day because I'm so uncomfortable in my skin.
A lot of constraints.
Yeah.
And so now there's lockdown.
Yeah.
Suddenly you have time, you have space to think and reflect. Talk to me about that decision process. I mean, you're the point where you actually decide to change. What did that look like?
I didn't know that this was like going to be my big change. Like I did not think that was possible. I just wanted to like stay consistent with something. And like, I mean, the COVID days were going so long. Like you had to fill in the gaps with like something, whether you're building a puzzle or making special coffees or starting sourdough or something. So I'm like,
Everyone started the sourdough
yeah,
at that time.
I'm going to dedicate 20 minutes a day to taking my walk. Like that was where it started. And it was like, I hope that, you know, people are healthy that are walking. Maybe that's going to help me, or who knows where this will take me. But it started just for a month with a 20-minute walk a day.
And then, well, what did that lead to? Did you get?
And then that led to 10K steps. I started really liking my walk. And then my best friend who I was living with is super fit, like a cycle teacher. And she was like, you should try like the 10K steps. Like we'll walk together, we'll do this. Like that's a great place to be. And I'm like, okay, like I can do 10K steps. And I got an Apple Watch and I got very competitive with my Apple Watch. I'm like, I have to hit this number every day. I will not go to sleep until it says 10K. And that was like my
Taking
next
those
goal.
final steps around the apartment.
Oh, going up and down the steps, like looking at it. So it started there, and I did that for the first 3 months of COVID, and I lost 30 pounds.
Right, because you had the time to focus. That must have been so validating, actually. I mean, not just losing the weight, but actually also that whole shell of limitations, not wanting to do things and go for the walks. That's starting to open up a bit.
Yeah,
Right,
it's like I have more hours. Like I just have more opportunities and more possibilities. And even when I was walking, I remember there'd be days that I would think like, okay, if I do go back to work, how could I still do this? And I'm like, you have 30 minutes, Liza. Like you have 30 minutes to squeeze in even with your busy schedule. And like now I can see like, oh, I do. Like, oh, I can do this on my lunch break, or I can wake up a little bit earlier. And it became like more attainable for me to think about like, if I go back to work tomorrow, is this done? Am I going to keep going? And I had to be like harsh with myself and say like, Liza, you can't go back into no excuses. You have to make it work, which was nice.
I mean, that's quite a change to make.
Yeah.
Because we just started in the start of our conversation speaking a bit more about like, you know, acceptance, complacency, saying, okay, this is just what it is. And you could have put that same identity on yourself and said, well, I can't do it, or this is just me. When I go back to my usual routine, I'll just do what I usually did. But you kind of made a decision not to, which is a pretty powerful moment, I would say. Yeah.
I think it's from just picking one thing and just like holding yourself accountable with that one thing. So it wasn't overwhelming for me. It felt super attainable. And I really enjoyed it. It was very like therapeutic for me almost. And it made me a happier person and I felt like a lighter human doing this instead of very depressed and very just heavy, not only in my body, but just in my mind. So it just became a non-negotiable for me.
And then that compiled, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So did you go back to work then and kept on the habits? And where did that take you?
I went back to work, I think 4 months later, but only nannying. So the daycare was still closed and I was able to start nannying, which while I'm nannying, I have 2 kids and they are active and they want to be we're on bikes and we're in hikes. So it was very easy for me to get my steps in with them. But at that point, I stacked on another habit and I'm drinking a gallon of water a day and I'm making sure there's protein with every single meal. I'm not tracking. I'm just trying to make these little healthy changes, but I'm not overwhelming myself because seeing my weight go down 30 pounds, I've never seen that. I think I've seen 10 pounds and then I gained it back plus some. But seeing the 30 pounds was the most motivating thing that I was I could do this. What if I lost another 30 pounds? Right. Didn't think it would be 140, but what if? What if it's another 30? So that's what life looked like.
Mm-hmm. Small habits stacked on top of each other. Mm-hmm. And it led to 140 pounds of weight loss. And a different life, I assume, at that time.
Yeah.
So when did you start sharing that story and posting about it actually?
It's when I was down, I think 120. And so that was a year after I lost the weight. It took me around 14 months to lose 120 pounds.
Right.
And TikTok was huge during this time. TikTok started a few years ago and I'm seeing all these transformations on TikTok. And my best friend was you have a transformation, just make a video. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to I kind of hid my transformation. I didn't post on social media ever when I was bigger. And afterwards, I didn't want people to know, I don't know. I was kind of embarrassed that I was that big and then I lost all the weight. So I was nervous.
Not thinking that it was a story worth sharing necessarily.
Yeah, I was just very unconfident, but I was confident in my body, but I just was worried about other people's opinions. I don't know why. I think it was just years and years of really caring about how people saw me. But I was really nervous to make the video because I'm what if someone sees it? What if my TikTok is seen to my neighbor or something?
Yeah.
I had no followers. And I was okay, I'll make a video. I posted it. And I think the first one got 7,000 views. And I was oh my gosh, I'm so famous.
Yeah,
I'm so famous. What am I going to do? But women are just commenting on it and what did you do? This is amazing. You should feel so proud. And I decided to make a few more. And I remember, I think it was the 4th one I made that got 12 million views.
Okay, now that's a jump.
Yeah.
7,000 to 12 million. Plus everything that people are writing on it. What does that shift look like? Because you're going from doubting yourself, thinking this is not worth sharing.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't do it, to getting not just a lot of views, but actually people engaging with that content. What's that like?
It was so motivating. I would cry. I would read the comments and I would comment back to every single person, which on a 12 million video view, it's a lot of people, a lot. And, people are making the assumptions or saying it's fake. If it was today, everyone would be it's AI, but it was real. And I was just I felt so proud of myself. For the first time, I was really able to sit back and be this is a miracle almost. This is something that I never thought possible and that millions of other women don't think is possible for them. They see themselves in 300-pound me. They saw me make a change and become unrecognizable, truly unrecognizable. And the best part is I didn't starve myself. No. I didn't train. I didn't do so much cardio. I did one habit at a time, slow and steady, and I had success.
And where did that take you then? What did you do with all of that? Because suddenly, you have a lot of, well, I guess in our industry, there's a lot of raw material there to work with. Mm-hmm. But I guess you also, do you feel you have a decision to make with that? Or does it steer you in some direction? I mean, you get a lot of validation and confidence now that, okay, this is actually a good story, something you can be proud of, something that can inspire others. But it might be hard to place that somewhere. What do you do with it?
So I still didn't think I can do something big with this. I'm just a inspiration. I'm just a viral video. But then people are following my personal Instagram. They're stalking me. They're in my DM, my personal DMs, asking for help and tips and sharing their stories of how they've tried everything and they would love my help. But I still didn't think like, oh, I can make a career out of this, or I can like change my circumstance in any way because of my weight loss. Like that wasn't a possibility. But I decided to then make an Instagram and start posting some more, just like to motivate and inspire. And I'm helping women in my DMs and I'm telling them, you know, start walking, like just don't overwhelm yourself, don't overcomplicate things. And like I'm sending voice memos like every day, like after work, I'm like voice memoing back to all these DMs. And
you're
like
doing it for free, basically.
I'm
right?
coaching.
You're not,
I'm
you're
literally
not, you're
coaching.
and guiding people on stacking habits and taking small steps and all of that, but not seeing it as coaching necessarily.
No, I did not. Like I'm the daycare teacher. I'm the college dropout. I'm the nanny. I'm the girl that walks and randomly posts TikToks like once a week, if that. And I started sharing like my workouts. That was, I guess, next step. Like I would share detailed workout plans online, share my meals because meals are a huge part of my journey. But that was it for me. I did not think in any way like I can now pivot and I can make this something big. Even though I think I gained 12,000 followers on my Instagram just from me like doing this.
So when did that shift happen?
That shift happened when Lenus reached out. I believe it was the fall of 2021. And my best friend, Lover, who's helped me so much during this journey, I told her about it and she was like, just take the meeting. Like whatever they have to say, like who knows? Like if you say yes, you do it, like, and it fails, at least you tried. Like it's just like something new and like I deserve to do something new. And I remember taking that meeting and they were like, okay, like you need a laptop. And like I literally
You didn't have a laptop at all?
No, I ended the meeting, started crying because I'm like, I can't afford a laptop. Like I can't do this. And luckily my friend was able to get me a laptop because she worked for Dell or worked with Dell, because I was like, I can't even do this because I don't have a computer. Like I can't afford this.
Wow.
But yeah, that's where it started.
You're like going from not thinking that, I mean, you're basically coaching people, but still not seeing where this can lead to saying yes to an opportunity, but not having a laptop to get started.
Yeah.
You borrowed one from your friend?
She bought me one. Yeah.
Right. It seems like you've always had quite a supportive network around you, both people who guided you or helped you along when you started taking your first, let's say, literally steps
My first step.
and stacking habits, to supporting you in sharing your story, to supporting you in, you know, dreaming a bit bigger and taking new steps.
I have a really good village. Like my people in my life, I'm very lucky. Like I know a lot of people don't have that, but I have like the same 8 friends for like 20 some, like so many years. So
it's very lucky.
I'm very lucky, very blessed.
Okay, but I mean, it's no secret, things took off for you.
Yeah, and I did not think that was going to happen. I remember when I launched, I was so nervous, like crying. I'm like, I'm going to embarrass myself. No one's going to sign up for this. Like, no one's going to click my link. Like, they want my help. I still didn't understand, like, the value I brought. Like, that people would actually pay me for help. I'm like, I help them in the DMs. Like, my videos help a little bit. And people would comment and be like, I've already lost 10 pounds just following your advice and, like, little things like that. But I never thought in a million, like, I think because I was so poor. And I'm like, I would love this help, but I can't afford an extra $1 out of my paycheck.
Right. So you're like point of reference of what's possible, and not having a laptop.
Yeah.
Right? And let alone paying for coaching.
Exactly.
It's like out of scope kind of perspective shift. What did you think was going to happen? What was your expectation then?
I wanted at least 10 people to maybe click my link. Like I was like, I hope 10 people click my link. My goal, I was like, if I could have 50 clients, I'll quit my job. Like that's enough for me. I'll do this forever. Like this would be like my dream. And I'll still be able to nanny on the side because I love nannying and I could have the 50 clients. But that was even far-fetched. So like if I get 50 clients, like dream big.
Well, as far as I could see, I mean, you hit 100 clients within 2 weeks.
I know.
of launching. Who clicked the link,
Yeah.
who paid, who signed up and everything. What was that like? That it was a storm, basically.
I have never not slept for that long. I was just buzzing. I felt like I was floating. Like I could not believe that this was my life, that this happened so fast. It was so overwhelming, but so beautiful at the same time. And I think because of the hustler in me, like grinder in me, like I was just on fire. I couldn't stop. Like I'm like, this is something that's so like once in a million chance for me, that like this many people, they want my help and I want to help them, even though it's just me at the time. But I'm like, I will say yes to anyone who wants to join and anyone who, of course, can afford to join. But it was so surreal. I couldn't believe it.
Must have been. And also, going back to what you said before, or what the perception of yourself or your self-image, saying, well, you hadn't succeeded at anything.
This was the first
Or
time
being,
I ever succeeded.
low in the class and so on. This is like 180 degrees turn away from that, because this is like success.
Yeah. Well, my weight loss, I got so confident for my weight loss, and that was the first time I've ever succeeded in anything. I felt like, I changed my life. I'm running 10 miles. I'm like, I've never been healthier, ever. Like, ever, ever, ever. So that was the first time I saw success in my body, in my life, but like career-wise, I did not think that was a possibility. I actually remember, so Friendsgiving with my best friends, because I love them, we had like a weird Friendsgiving where we just like, we wanted to get deep. And instead of going around the table and saying like what we're thankful for, each person had to open up and be like, what is something you're struggling with? Because sometimes it's so easy to be kind of surface level with your friends and you get caught up in that. And I remember when it was my turn, bawling my eyes out, and I'm just like, they're all very successful, all my friends. They all have amazing jobs, amazing careers. And I'm like, I just feel like I'm stuck and I'm never going to amount to anything in like my life financially. I'm always going to be living like paycheck to paycheck. And I had this huge like emotional night in November. And then I ended up talking to Lenus like the week after. And then I launched in January, and 100 people signed up in 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's a shift.
Yeah.
And it kept going.
But
You're basically working 2 jobs, as you've always done.
I was 3 jobs at the time.
Oh yeah, so daycare, nannying, and starting online coaching. But you had 100 clients after 2 weeks, and that kept going. So you have basically several hundred, like 300 within the first month, I believe, of that time. But juggling all of that. Tell me about that time and what you were actually doing across 3 jobs.
Well, I had my new laptop at work, and I'm so bad. The kids are here. My laptop's open. My boss is like yelling at me. She's like, Liza, you can't do this. No. And I'm like, okay. I ended up putting in my 2 weeks within 2 weeks of launching. Like I had to. I could not take care of the 100 clients on my own while doing this too. So I put in my 2 weeks at the daycare, which I could not believe. Like that was so emotional for me. And it was also scary because I'm like, what if this fails? And at that time, I didn't even get a paycheck yet from Lenus, like from coaching, because it wasn't even a month.
No.
Like
it's so short.
It was so short, but I'm like, I can't even coach these clients. Like I'm not sleeping. I'm up all hours of the night coaching, responding, sending videos. But I also want to keep growing. Like people are so interested, and I have so many leads just sitting there. So I put in my 2 weeks within 2 weeks of launching. And then I still worked my nannying job for like 2 months. But I remember even with that, the family I was nannying for, she even had to like pull me aside and be like, Liza, like, we love you so much, but like you have to be more present with the kids, or because I also would have my computer there too. Because at that point, I think I had almost 500 clients.
Wow.
And I was able to hire someone within a month to help me out. But like me and my first assistant, we are working so hard.
That's a grind.
Yeah.
So you had to make a call there. But I think that decision, I mean, just to put things in perspective, right, going from $8 an hour, not affording a laptop, to having that many clients who not only are experiencing change and getting help, but you've also changed your own life at that point. I mean, with those numbers, basically what you make in a month there is the equivalent of what you would make in a year of being a nanny, right? So you have to make the call and decide to go all in. Was it a difficult decision to make at that? It's kind of like point of no return.
Yeah, it was one of those things that like I had to. Like I was very emotional because I love the families I worked with. Like I taught these kids how to ride bikes, how to read, how to tie their shoes. Like they were very close to me. So that part of it was hard, but I knew that like if I wanted to keep growing, and I did, like I was so hungry and I was so proud of myself, I had to make that decision. And I'm so happy I did, but it was tough.
Yeah, makes sense. And things grew from there, and you have quite you've grown a big team, and like we spoke about in the start, a lot of impact on people and a lot of experience there. And I'd like to kind of pick your brain on some of that experience from a coach perspective, because over those years, there's a lot of, let's say, mega trends that impact and influence the industry, both from an entrepreneur side and a coach side, but also client side. And one of those big mega trends is GLP-1s,
Yeah.
right? Which have totally changed the landscape of weight loss, of health. And if we backtrack a bit, it started with obesity being classified as a disease, right? Do you remember when that happened? What was your perspective on that? Because I mean, struggling with weight loss and maybe having a different perspective on being overweight and that not necessarily as a disease. Did you have any thoughts about that change?
I did. I felt like, well, I was, like I said, morbidly obese my whole life. And that was never a thing. Like, it was never like, you have a disease. It was like, you did this to yourself. Good luck. Like, my only solve, like, from doctors was like, I have to have the surgery. It was like, you have to have the surgery because you're not going to lose it naturally. And there was no like disease talk about that. So I really just felt like I did this to myself and I'm stuck this way unless I can afford a surgery.
Mm. And that whole landscape changed with
With the GLP-1s.
with that classification, right? Which
Yeah.
opened up for research and into GLP-1s, right? So,
Yeah.
and this has been, going on there's multiple tens of millions of people on GLP-1s now. And it's definitely, what was your perception of medicinal weight loss in the beginning, seeing as someone who would focus mainly on the habit side?
Yeah.
It's only about 1 in 8 that are actually successful in changing their habits themselves. You're one of those, right? And
Yeah.
others who aren't use that. What was your thought about GLP-1s in the beginning?
I'm going to be so honest. Like, at first, I was so not into it. I thought it was, I don't want to say cheating, but it was like, to me, I couldn't wrap my head around somebody injecting a medication into their bodies, not putting in the work and like seeing the results. And a part of me also was bitter. I'm like, if this was an option for me, like, I would have taken it. Like, I would have loved to have taken this. Like, anything to quiet my food noise, anything to change my life, sign me up if I could afford it. At the time, I couldn't afford it. But like, if I could have, I would have loved that. So a part of me was bitter, jealous, but also a part of me was like, kind of, can this like really be healthy? Is this really safe? Like, is this something that people should be taking, or should we just all be focusing on our habits?
Right. I understand. And when did that perception kind of shift a bit for you?
It definitely shifted. I would say it shifted a year and a half ago, and mostly because I started working with a lot of clients. Clients would come to me who have been on the medication or got off the medication and gained all the weight back. And I have changed so many lives of women on the medication. I've seen like all the good from it. And I think the biggest thing is, I think a part of me was like, and this is going to sound so bad about myself, but I'm like, I'm better because I did it natural. And like, I've succeeded more because I did it natural. And I'm comparing myself to women who are taking, quote unquote, the easy way out. But at the end of the day, you still need to build the healthy, you still need to build the healthy lifestyle. You still have to do the same thing I did. This is just a tool to help these women. And I learned that through coaching my clients. And it really changed my life. We have handfuls and handfuls of women who are on these medications and they are living such a higher quality of life because of it. And it's beautiful. And I think even to like the older generation who like kind of like myself, even though I wasn't older, but I couldn't move my body in the way like a lot of people can. And this medication can make it possible for these women and these older people to like just move their bodies to live a healthy lifestyle. And like, you can't put a price on that.
No, definitely. I'd like to just take a step back to one of the things you said about, if you had a solution to things like food noise earlier, you would have taken it. Talk to me a bit about that whole experience.
Food noise, like if you've ever experienced it, it truly like controls your whole life. Like, it is something, even today, like I am constantly battling my food noise. I've came a long way, but it's one of those things that as a former binge eater and with all my food addictions, like you can't turn it off. And it's something like I'm always thinking about the next meal. Now I'm a lot better, but back then I'm thinking about my next meal while I'm eating my meal. I can't stop eating because I like need that last bite. That last bite's not satisfying me. And I'm cleaning my plate no matter what, every single meal. And like, I would have done, like, it was so suffocating to not be able to just live my life and not think about food. I remember one of my friends that was my roommate too, I would ask her, because she wasn't a foodie, like she didn't care about food. And she's like, I just eat food like to live. Like, food isn't my life. Whereas like me, it was my life. Like, it really was. And I would have done anything to just like not have that relationship with food.
Mm. You could see now, I guess, also anecdotally from working with people
Yeah.
who are on GLP-1s that it solves that part of the puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
does it? And that opens up an opportunity to act in
Yeah.
other ways.
To
Then.
live your life
Right.
without that restriction of like always thinking about food.
It makes sense. So, I mean, I guess it's quite clear that this is a quite, potentially life-saving combination. I'd like to, because as a coach now, you've worked practically with a lot of people who are on medication,
Yeah.
who potentially were on medication before starting coaching, and some who've done it in parallel,
Yeah.
right, with your coaching. Not as part of an offering, which we'll get to, but, could you paint a couple of scenarios on what that change looks like for people? From your experience, what have you experienced? People who have done only weight loss medication and then come to you, and
Mm-hmm.
someone who's maybe done it simultaneously. What do you see the big differences are there?
Yes. So someone who comes to me who has primarily only taken the medication and not made any of the real changes, they come to me either because they've gained all the weight back and more when they got off the medication because they did not build the lifestyle. They were under eating. They're very malnourished. They're not adding muscle at all. They're not strength training. They're not prioritizing these habits. And your muscle mass is like one of the most important things that you can build. And it also takes the longest. I always say like losing the weight in perspective was the easiest part of my journey, but like adding the muscle and like shaping my body and getting stronger, that was the hardest part of my journey. And whenever clients come to me that are on the medications and they didn't put in the work, like we are starting from ground zero. Like it is a whole restart. Whereas someone who is pairing a lifestyle change with a medication, it really is life changing. You're not just losing the weight to fit into a dress because you're taking this medication. Like you're getting stronger. You're going to be able to be off the medication one day. It's not going to be a forever thing for you because you built the lifestyle. And also you're eating enough food. You're eating enough protein. You're eating enough fiber because you're on a meal plan. You're not just, because if you have no food noise, you're not hungry. You're not eating. And if someone is not providing guidance for you around meals, you are under eating, no matter what. Like more chances than not, like I can't imagine not having any food noise, not feeling like that hunger and eating the appropriate amount of food for my body. The clients have come to me and they're like, I was barely eating 900 calories on my GLP. And I'm like, the kids I nannied for ate more than that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
We need to eat more. We're 30. We're 30 years old and we're 5'7", and we need to eat a little bit more than that, girly.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned them a bit there, but there's two like really big factors that kind of stack on each other in a bad way without changing habits and so on. The one is, as you mentioned, is potentially losing. I've seen some of the stats between 20 and 30% muscle mass as part of that weight loss. And the other statistic, which is so many people putting weight back on after ending, right? So if you put both of those together at the end, you're potentially actually worse off.
Yeah, you are.
than before you started. And potentially also even to a higher degree for women. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you're so right. You really are worse off. That's why it's so important that we build the lifestyle, that we actually not just take the medication, because the medication's incredible. It's so, so incredible, but it has to be paired with the right amount of protein, with adding muscle, and with changing your life. Or like you just mentioned, you're going to be back where you started, if not worse, in a worse position.
So try to paint a bit of a picture for me of the role of a coach, or your role, if we combine medicinal weight loss with coaching. What changes and what stays the same?
I think pairing the medication with a coach is the key to success when it comes to taking the medication. I think there's the misconception around like, oh, I can just take this medication and I can lose the weight. Whereas like, no, you still have to put in the same work I put in. You still have to build the habits. You still have to build the lifestyle. And whenever you're doing both together, like you're going to see results that you never thought possible. Not only, yes, you're going to lose the weight, but like you're going to build the life. You're going to build the life outside of the medication. You're going to be able to come off the medication one day if you choose. And ultimately, that's the goal. And you're not going to gain the weight back because you already built the lifestyle.
Actually being able to sustain change.
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately what this is about, right? It's about not just creating change, but sustaining change in people's lives so they can live
And that's what my whole coaching is. My whole coaching is sustainable weight loss that we, just like myself, we're starting with one step at a time. If we choose steps for that first step, great, but it doesn't have to be steps. But the point with a GLP-1 with coaching is like, you have to do the same thing my other clients are doing. You still have to focus on one step at a time. You still have to do it the sustainable way. The medication is just like this amazing tool that's going to make it even more possible for you and really, really help you in so many levels. But it's still the same sequence. It's still, what am I going to start with? How am I going to habit stack? And we're going to get to like the end goal in a very sustainable way with or without medication. But medication is the thing that's going to, of course, help so many women and men out there and quiet the food noise.
Yeah. If we look a bit forward now into the future, where do you see this going for you now? Because, leveraging this mega trend and the wealth of experience that you have in coaching, how are you going to combine the two going forward?
My plan is to combine them just the way I combine my normal coaching by habit stacking. And I truly believe that if someone is on a GLP-1 and they pair it with a coach, they're going to see such amazing change that's going to be so sustainable. Because at the end of the day, like, everyone needs a coach. Even if you're not trying to lose weight, like, everyone needs a coach. I have health coaches. I have like business coaches. Anyone who's successful has had a coach in some way, but having a coach while taking a medication that's going to help you lose the weight and live a healthy lifestyle, I mean, the proof is going to be in the pudding. It's going to be the best results that you're going to possibly see.
Makes sense. And it sounds like something that will lead to a lot of change.
It's going to lead, which that is the goal, is making the biggest impact possible and helping anyone. I don't want to be only the weight loss big sister because I lost weight naturally. I want to be the health big sister that can help anyone lose the weight, live a healthy lifestyle, whether you go a GLP-1 route or if you go a natural route, you want to change your lifestyle. Regardless, you have to change your lifestyle with either route you choose.
Right. And it sounds like some of those like core aspects of being a coach and where that's like what that's grounded in, that stays the same.
Yeah.
I've heard you say, have a smaller body to have a bigger life.
It's my favorite.
Could you unpack that a bit for me?
Well, I know we talked a little bit in the beginning of just like my restrictions of when I was in a bigger body, not being able to travel, not feeling comfortable going to the beach or enjoying the summer. Summer was my least favorite season every year. Like, I would get so anxious before the summer because of the heat, because of like the lack of clothes I would have to put on my body. And losing the weight, not only like I'm living a healthier lifestyle, but I'm saying yes to everything. Like, I'm saying yes to every event. I'm being in every single photo. I would hide in all the photos before. I'm traveling. I'm going on roller coasters. Like, I'm doing all the things I never thought possible, all because, yes, I'm in a smaller body, but it's the life that I built from becoming this smaller person.
Right. Smaller body for a bigger life.
Yeah.
And I guess everyone, regardless of the route, right, whether it's coaching alone, medicinal weight loss plus coaching, everyone needs that spark, that why to initiate change. You had yours in the beginning. What does that uncovering the why look like for you with clients? I'm curious about that.
I love the why. That's like the first thing we talk about with every single client. It's like, we have to have the why when starting this. And I make everyone, I'm like, this why, guys, I do not want to hear a number on the scale. I do not want to hear a jean size. I do not want it to be like weight specific. Like, if your why is, I want to lose 30 pounds for my wedding, or I want to fit into my size 6 jeans, it's not going to be a strong enough why to sustain forever. It's not going to be a strong enough why to keep you going. It has to be something that like comes from your heart. That's like emotional. Like, for me, like, I wanted to walk up my steps and not be out of breath. I wanted to go on a roller coaster, go on a hike. I wanted to live a bigger life and not say no to everything. And I make all my clients choose a why that's just not surface level. Whether it's like, I want to play with my kids, I want to be a healthy grandma, I want to get better blood work results, something that's actually going to push you outside of just like this 2-year plan. Like, what's going to be something in like 5 years that you're going to be like, this is still my why. Like, I still want to live a healthy lifestyle. I still want to be able to walk up my steps and not be out of breath. And I still want to be able to get on the floor with my future kids and play and run around. And if my why was only, I really want to fit into these jeans, I would have quit.
Right. It's short-lived.
Yeah.
Sustainable change,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, is the key. So I'm curious about when you look into the future of both your life and your coaching business, what's something that really excites you that you're looking forward to?
I think it's the impact. It's like the possibilities of like how many more lives I can change. I think it sounds very like cliche that like I care this much. It's like, do you really care this much? And it's like, this is my passion. This is something I'm so passionate about. And women coming to me that because they follow me, because they join my program, they're also able to live this bigger life and they're able to do all these things. To me, like that's my goal. Is like, I just want to increase. If I come here in 5 years and you're like, 10 million pounds have been lost in your program and lives have been changed, like I'm a happy woman.
Yeah.
Like that is the key, is to just like change lives in any way that I can in a healthy way.
Right. Well, I think beyond the numbers, the plus 9,000 clients, the weight loss, everything that represents is many people
Yeah.
being able to live a bigger life. And I would say that kind of ties a perfect ribbon on both, the growth and the journey that you've been on, but also kind of summarizes how large scale impact you've actually had.
Absolutely. And like, even like I think about, we talked in my beginning how I thought this was it for me. I thought I was never going to amount to anything. And I was so complacent, and I get so emotional thinking about the years. Like I didn't start my journey until I was 27 years old losing weight. And to think like all the way until I was 27 years old, I thought that was it for me. I didn't think there was anything more. And there are millions, multi-millions of women out there who think the same, who think this is it for me. And it's like, I'm going to cry. It's not it for you. Like you can change and you can do things you never, ever, ever imagined. And what is the saying? Like shoot for the stars and land on the moon. But it's so true. Like I remember even when I lost the weight that same year that I had the Friendsgiving round table where I cried about my career and I reached out to Lenus, I always write down my 5 goals for the year. Like, and this year I was like, I'm going to write big ones down, like big ideas, it says. And it was like, get an LLC. It was start a business, quit my daycare job, save up enough money to get my tummy tuck, and like pay off a student loan.
Right.
And I was able to do all 5 of those things in 1 year.
There you go.
Just from dreaming big.
Yeah. Shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Do you have 5 for this year?
Yeah, but I can't share them.
Oh, okay, not yet. Well, we'll have to
next year.
We'll have
share
to
them at the
get you
end.
back
Yeah.
and talk about those 5 goals and the stars that you aimed for
Yeah.
in that time. I look forward to having you back. Thank you very much for sharing. For now, Liza, we'll be back with the walk pads in just a second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Liza.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome to the walk pads.
I'm so happy to be here.
A little rapid fire session while we're doing a walk and talk.
Let's do it.
All right, so what I want you to do is rate on a scale from 1 to 10 the impact of what I'm going to tell you on people's health, happiness, and longevity. 1 being the lowest, 10 the highest.
Okay.
Make sense? All right, so strength training for weight loss.
10.
10?
10.
All the way
so
up there.
important.
GLP-1s alone for sustainable weight loss.
Can I say a 0? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I would say a 2.
A 2?
We need more. We need more than just the GLP-1s. You need to make the lifestyle change.
Okay, so I'll give you the next one, which is GLP-1s in combination with coaching.
A 10.
A 10?
A 10.
Why?
It's the key to success right there. You're doing both things. You're taking something that's going to help your overall health, but you're also taking the steps to improve your overall health so that way you can sustain your change.
Okay. Speaking of steps, how about getting the 10,000 steps?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't have to be 10,000, but having a step goal, that's a 10.
Mm-hmm. So you see a bit of a misconception in it having to be 10,000.
Yeah.
Just getting it done is important.
Yep.
Okay.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to change this up then. I want you to give me a bit of insight. What's something outside of health and fitness that you're surprisingly good at?
I mean, I'm really good at cooking, but that's like not outside. I'm a great talker.
Uh-huh.
I'm a really great talker. I think I'm really funny.
I also heard you say that you'd never lost a game of mini golf.
Oh, I'm
Is that
so
true?
good at mini golf and tennis. I think not a lot of people know, like I'm a really good tennis player,
Okay, so that's a hidden talent.
but that's health and fitness, I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is one?
Oh wait, I know something.
Okay,
I know
tell me.
something I'm really, really good at. I am the most directionally challenged person I know. I can get
Good
you
at being
anywhere.
directionally challenged.
Like I know, yeah, I'm really good. My friends call me Google Maps Liza.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Tell me, what is one, let's say, trend in health and fitness that you used to believe in that you don't anymore?
That you need to run. Not everyone needs to be a runner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. Tell me, okay, the last one is that one song that you have these days that'll get you through any workout. What is that song?
I would say Goodbye Yesterday. It's a Christian song, but that one really gets me going.
Gets you going.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Is that
Thank
it?
you very much, Liza.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so much.
participating.
Thank you.